Hello YouTube, welcome to another tutorial. In this one, I'll be teaching you how to file your tax refund and get up to $30,000 without any job. In other words, you will be filing your tax refund with no job needed. Okay, so basically, you want to follow the instructions and process you see on the screen. All right, so at this point, I have created my account on TaxSlayer and I've already started the process. That is why I'm here. So I'm just going to continue from here. Okay, but in your case, when you create your account, ensure you tick to file as single. So then you will need this website. You just basically want to Google Forbes tax bracket. So it gives you the ideal tax the ideal tax for your federal income. Okay, it gives you the ideal tax rate for your federal income. Okay, so you just want to Google Forbes tax bracket, and then you want to check for your state tax rate. In my case, I'm filing for Virginia, so I'm gonna Google Virginia state tax rate. So you'll find your state tax rate. Okay, ensure you look for the state you're filing for. So in my case, it's between 2% to 5.75%, depending on the income amount. So between 2% to 5% by 5.75%. Anyway, you want to also check your state Medicare and Social Security tax rate. Okay, so Virginia Medicare tax rate here is 1.45, and the Social Security tax rate is 6.2. Okay, so you want to also check the tax rate for your state, the Medicare tax rate and the Social Security tax rate. So I just click continue back in my TaxSlayer account, and then we continue from there. So it's gonna ask you to upload last year's tax return. So you basically want to skip that. Yeah, so when you skip that, you would need to fill out your taxpayers information. So I'm gonna put in my information off recording, and then click continue. Mind you, in occupation you can put marketer, secretary, salesman, marketer, secretary, salesman, freelancer. Okay, and then you click continue once you've put in your personal information, and then the continuation for the personal information, you put in your country, which should be USA, your address, your apartment number, your zip code, city, state, and residency status. So for the residency status, make sure it's citizen, and then click continue from there. So then after that, you'll be asked if there's any other additional information you want to take. So in most cases you have to skip this, but in some cases you tick whichever applies to you. Now, what's your filing status? Single. Then continue. Dependents or qualifying persons? No, we aren't using any dependents here. Then IRS identity protection pin. So you be asked if you received your IP pin. Okay, the IP pin is usually 6 digits, and in my case for this client, I actually did receive my IP pin. So if you received yours, ensure you tick yes and put in the IP pin. Otherwise, you tick no. So I've ticked yes, and I'm going to click continue, and I'm going to put in the IP pin I received. So yeah, right there, I'm going to put in my IP pin from last year's return and click continue. Okay, so then you get to this page where you see a summary of all your information. So you want to look it over again and be sure it's all correct, and then click continue. Okay, so now let's do this. So click continue. So it's going to ask you to add forms quickly with quick file. So you click continue, and then you search for W2 form, and then you select the form. Okay, wages and salaries, and then click continue. You are doing great. Click continue. So let's wait for the W2 form to load. So it says let's start with your EIN. So you're gonna fill in your EIN, which is your employer identification number right here. Okay, so now to get this, you can always go check the video where I show you guys how to get companies EIN. Okay, I will leave you the link in the description. But that being said, I'm going to be using this company called Dollar Tree Incorporation. So I'm going to copy their EIN quickly, and then I'm going to paste it right there. Or we just type it in, and then the employer name is Dollar Tree Incorporation. Country is United States. Then I'll fill in the address, the zip code, the city, and the state. Okay, so be sure not to make any mistakes here. Okay, be sure to cross check what you've put in the blanks, that they are correct. Okay, as this can affect your application if you put in anything wrong. Okay, that being said, let's continue. So you fill out the employer's information. Now it's your information, employee information next. So now you fill out your employee information, which is basically you put in all of your information, and then you're going to fill out the wages and taxes. Okay, so the first blank there says wages, tips, and other compensations. This is basically a federal income. So we're gonna start with $96,000. So the point of this tutorial is to teach you how to get up to $30,000 on your refund with no job. Okay, with no job. Okay, so okay, let me use 150,000 as my federal income. So yeah, go to Forbes tax bracket, and then we'll check overnight 5,375, but not over 182. So that's the 150,000. The federal tax on that income is 24%. So I'm going to be doing 24% of 150,000. Okay, so I hope you understand what I just did there. You go to Forbes tax bracket, so you can actually check the tax rate for your federal income. Okay, So in this case, I'm starting with 150,000, and according to the tax bracket there, the tax rate is 24%. So you're going to get 24% of 150,000, which is 0.24 multiplied by 150,000. Okay, so the tax withheld is going to be 36,000. And then the social security wages, I'm going to make it basically 140,000. Okay, 140,000. And then the social security tax withheld, then you go check your state social security tax rate. In this case, it's 6.2%. So you're doing 6.2% of 140,000. Okay, so 6.2% of 140,000 will be 6.2 divided by 100 multiplied by 140,000. So we have 0.062 multiplied by 140,000 to get the social security tax value, which is 8680. Then your Medicare wages, same as your social security wages, just follow the tutorial. Okay, so now what's the Medicare tax rate? 1.45. So we're going to get 1.45 of 140,000. Okay, so that's going to be 1.45 divided by 100. Multiply that by 140,000. So we'll have 2030. So the tax withheld for the Medicare is 2030. And then you're going to skip social security tips. Look at the tips, IRS verification code, all of the other boxes. You're just going to skip them. Keep scrolling down till you get state and local information. And then you select your state. Okay. Select your state, which in my case is Virginia. So I'm going to select Virginia, and then you put in the EIN you used earlier. Okay, employer's identification number. You just put in the EIN you used earlier. Employer state ID. It's basically the EIN. So just put in the EIN you used earlier there, and then your state wages. You want to make it higher than your federal wages a little, so I'm gonna make my 155,000. Remember, my federal wages was 150. So now what the tax rate for that? 5.75%. That's over $17,000. So we're gonna get 5.75% of 155,000. So 5.75 divided by 100 multiplied by 155,000. So we have 8,912.5. So ensure you fill that in correctly, and then you skip the rest. Local wages, local income, local name. Skip the rest and just click continue. I'm going to save that, and then you will see your return summary. Basically, you see your federal return. So we have $9,924. Okay, so I promised you guys I was gonna teach you how to get up to $30,000, and I will. I definitely will. Okay, I'm just trying to make a point here. Okay, so in order for us to get this refund to 30,000, I'm gonna go back to my wage and tax statement, which is my W2 form, and I have to edit it. Okay, so basically, the editing will start from my federal income. Now, since we have 9,000 here, which is almost 10,000, we're gonna make our federal income three times the value it was originally. Okay, so technically, if I get to increase my federal income to three times the value, and then the tax return is three times the value, and we do the same for the rest, so it should automatically make the refund be three times the value it is currently. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my federal wages, tips, other compensations. So we're gonna set that to let's say 450,000. Okay, that's 150 multiplied by 3. Okay, so set it to 450,000, and then you go check the tax rate for that income. So it falls under 35%. So we'll do 35% of 450,000. And we'll get 157,500. So put that in the federal income tax withheld. And I'll go to our social security wages. Wait for it. So I'm gonna set that for 3,000. Okay, it's 2,000, 130,000 rather. It's 20,000 less than the federal income. So the tax rate for social security is 6.2. So you get 6.2% of 430,000. 6.2% of 430,000. 6.2 divided by 100 multiplied by 430,000. And we have 26,660. So you put that in your social security tax withheld. And then the Medicare wages would match the social security wages. It's also going to be 430,000. And then the Medicare tax rate is 1.45 for Virginia. Ensure you check your social security and Medicare tax rate for your state. Okay, they differ sometimes. So we get 1.45% of 430,000, and that's going to give us 6,235. And then we're just going to skip the other blanks, scroll down to get state and local information. And then for the state wages, we're just going to make it 455,000. So it's $5,000 above my federal wages. And then the state tax rate for Virginia, once again, is 5.75%. So we're going to get 5.75% of 455,000. So 5.75 divided by 100 multiplied by 455,000. So we have 26,162.5. So that's the state income tax for Virginia for that wage. So click continue. So having edited the values on our W2 form, we now have $30,883 for our federal refund. So we have achieved our goal for this tutorial, and I hope you guys understood everything. Okay, you can always message me private if you need more information, or you need more clarification, or you need assistance. Anyway, so we'll continue from there. Now we have our state refund is 8,059. Click continue from there, and federal is 30,883. Okay, so basically, if you got Affordable Care Act insurance plan, be sure to tick yes, else tick no. Okay, if you got a tick yes, else tick no. So nice work on your federal return. Let's get started on your state return. So you just keep the state return, okay? Because in most cases you'll be asked to pay $39 to file your state return. So in most cases I just keep the state return, okay? So just click skip state return and let the app do the calculations. Okay, so here's my tax return summary, and then click continue. Okay, now we need your approval on a couple things. Okay, so yeah, I agree to the consent to use terms. Okay, then put in your full name. Now you would see this in the beginning of your application, like I said earlier. Ensure you do not tick that for I am filing joint return with my spouse. Okay, just ignore that and focus on the first box and click continue. Okay, so do not agree to the second consent, then click continue. So now claim your state refund. You could receive 1,059 state refund from Virginia based on your federal tax info. I just click I do not wish to receive my state refund. Okay, so now ready to file. Are you ready? So I just choose yes, I'm done, I'm ready. Click continue. So paying nothing out of your pocket today, file and go. So what does file and go allow you to do? Easily pay fees with your tax refund. So yes, we're gonna click file and go. Okay, so you pay whatever fee from your tax refund. So file and go is good. So review your federal selections, continue. How do you want to receive your federal return? Of course, direct deposits. In some cases, you can choose to receive your federal refund by mail. Okay, a check will be sent to you. Okay, but if you want direct deposit, choose direct deposit. Now, other assistance, no thanks. Legal lighting, no thanks. Legal lighting wheel, no thanks. Securely ID, no thanks. Way to go, you're all set to file. So we are basically good sign and file your return. Now you want to put in your direct deposit information. I just put mine in and then continue. So now you need to verify your ID, okay, to kind of like finalize the application. So you're gonna have to verify your ID. So whichever ID card you have, you select the type. In my case, I have a driver's license. So the issuer state of Virginia. Yeah, so put in the other information, just click continue. Terms and conditions. So I agree to terms, I agree to the file and go terms, then put in your full name to basically agree to their terms and use, and then continue. So we need the adjusted gross income AGI from 2022 if you have access to it. Personally, I do have access to mine, so I'm going to click yes, I have my 2022 tax return with me. If you do not, you just click no, I didn't file, or you can locate it. Okay, but if you do have it, ensure to click yes, I do have it, and click continue. So I have mine. Okay, so which type of tax return did you file last year? So be sure to take note of the form you used for filing last year. In my case, it was 1040. So I'm going to click 1040 and then click continue. So now I have to enter my AGI, also known as adjusted gross income. Okay, so ensure you enter the correct AGI, because if you put in the wrong AGI, your application will be rejected. Okay, this is the AGI from my refund last year. Okay, so you ask to check, you ask to double check it. Okay, so ensure it's correct, then continue. So I put in the AGI from my last year return. Now create a self-select pin. This self-select pin is 5 digits. It's not your IP pin. Okay, so you just need to create one for the application. It's not your IP pin. Then sign and file your return. So I'm file now. So congratulations, your tax return has been e-filed. Okay, so at this point we are done. Okay, so if you enjoyed the tutorial, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification, check out my other videos. Okay, make sure you check my other videos. Okay, I have quality content. Bye for now.